Hey everyone! So for today's video, I am gonna just talk about some very interesting, deep topics that I find very interesting. They're super random, like the randomest things ever, but I just want to talk about it and I think it's super interesting. Life is so interesting. There's so many things that to learn about and just like it blows my mind. So I'm gonna just get right into it. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is the deep sea. So this concept is always crazy to me. Like the fact that we only know or we have not discovered at least 70% of the ocean is crazy to me. I'm so curious, like what is there? And the fact that we as humans can only go to a certain limit, like we can only go a certain depth under the water. And actually a long time ago, I saw a video, somebody posted a video on YouTube about how they saw a mermaid in the ocean. I'm pretty sure it was fake. Like it was like a video, like one of these mysterious videos. And I think it was fake, like they edited it, but it stuck with me because I was like, what if mermaids are actually real? And I don't think they would be like a beautiful woman, like type of mermaid. I think they're probably scary looking, but I don't know. I feel like mermaids are real. Like, who knows what's down there? I'm sure there is some kind of creature that is like a mermaid or like something like that. If we like, who knows what is there? Nobody knows. And that's what also ties in, what if there's a spiritual world down there? Because you know how in the Bible it talks about all these crazy creatures, it talks about creatures coming from the oceans, like it talks about like a lot of mysterious creatures from the ocean. And yeah, what if there's a whole spiritual world down there or something? Or like, I don't know, it's just so interesting to me. And also, what are they doing there? Why are they there if they're not involved in any, like what would be the point of them if there's just a bunch of yeah, what is the point of them if they're just a bunch of creatures that are just no one ever sees and no one ever knows, and it's just going to be there forever and no one's ever going to find out? Think about it. What would be the point of that? It's probably, maybe it's like a spiritual world. I actually just now thought of this thing, like the spiritual thing. I don't know, just in general, the ocean, inside the ocean, and the fact that we swim in the ocean and it's like normal. Like I'm not afraid of the ocean, but deep down, who knows what is inside of there? That's crazy. Okay, the next thing is reality and perception. Okay, this topic for me the past year has been very relevant. I've just noticed, I think the past year I really learned to put my mind where it needs to be. So I don't have to think bad things if I don't want to, because it's all like in my mind. It's all really a perception. So I think because I learned a lot of these things, I just realized how much life is a perception. And it's just crazy. And I've just seen so many different minded people where it could be one thing and one person sees it like this, and then another person sees it completely different, and it's the same thing. It's just crazy to me. Yeah, because really life, it's not really one reality. It's just the reality that you live in your mind. Like sometimes I want to go into someone's mind and see how they see life, just to compare, like, oh wow, I see it like this. I mean, I guess that's what talking about things comes into. But yeah, it's just crazy based on your life experiences, based on the things you grew up with, based on just the way your mind works. That's how you perceive life. And everyone has a different one. There's no one way. The fact that there's not two people that see everything the same, but that's so cool too, you know? But yeah, it's just crazy. And even in business, it's all a perception. Who is buying has a perception of something, that's why they're buying it, and then the person that's selling it also has to present it a certain way so that buyer can buy it. It's like all just playing with perceptions and emotions. yeah, life is really a perception. If you hate the way that you see things, you can change it. That's the cool part, okay? Yeah, if you don't like some things that are in your mind bothering you, that's the really cool part. You can literally shift that. And then that's not your reality anymore. You have a better reality. So another interesting topic is AI. So I'm not a big AI person, I would say, because I'm more of an old school type of person, where I like things more old school, more traditional, I guess, or things more done with the soul and with the heart, you know, more real and authentic and like less man-made. I like the real things. For example, a book, I would prefer to read something like in my hand than reading on a tablet or something like that. Or just like things in life, I'm not as technological. So, but I do actually use AI sometimes, or I think it could be very useful for certain things in the world and business. But AI. So I have another interesting theory about AI. Okay, here's a general statement. I feel like a lot of things in life are so much deeper, we just don't realize it. I think there's so much things we see in life, and it's like, oh, like we see this, but there's a whole nother world. Like, I mean, I think that's the spiritual world, where there's so much more going on that are deeper that we don't know. And this is what makes me so interested. I'm like, why is that working this way? Why? I'm just always like asking, why is that happening? So anyways, with AI, I hear a lot of people talking about AI, how it's, oh, like it's gonna destroy humanity, or it's gonna become over people. And one, I don't think AI can ever beat humans, or it can take the place of humans, because humans have a soul and emotions. AI or robots don't have that. So I think AI can only reach a certain level, even if it can be destructive or whatever. I mean, hopefully, let's think positive. But AI can never replace a human because it doesn't have that. And so eventually, even if AI takes over a lot of people's jobs, takes over a lot of things, it can't exceed that, because one day we're going to be like, we need that soul and that emotion back into life. You can't just be living like robots. So I definitely don't think it can replace it. Maybe, and people are thinking if it can like destroy humanity. And if that were the case, I would think that's just the end of times, and like, because humans aren't gonna be around forever. So if AI or robots take over humanity, then maybe this is just the end of time, and like humans, yeah, I don't know. Or maybe, oh, and another thing that ties in, what if AI is also spiritual? Like, as in, like, what if AI or robots are, but then can it be spiritual if it's man-made? I don't know, actually. Can man-made things be spiritual? No, they can't, right? But that does tie in with aliens. You know how sometimes they talk about how they have footage of aliens, or like they see something moving? I think that is definitely spiritual world. I don't think there's like, maybe it's aliens, maybe humans call it aliens, but really it's the spiritual world. That's what I would think about aliens, because there is no life other than humans, animals. But, and that's the thing, in the Bible it does talk about creatures and weird looking creatures and things like that. So if there are aliens is just the word that we call these things, but really it's probably the spiritual world, you know? I just went from AI to aliens because it's kind of similar for me. So, but yeah, AI, it can never replace humans, I don't think. I mean, it can't, but yeah, something about AI, I don't know. I don't like it that much for some reason. I think it's just kind of scary to me. Like, it just takes away so much of human out of things. Like, yeah, it takes away the human, the soul and things. I don't really like that part of it. So AI with the robots is what kind of freaks me out. Like, something doesn't sit right with me with that. I don't know what it is, but I don't know. Wait, in a way, oh my God, I think I know why it doesn't sit right with me. Because specifically, when I'm talking about, there's the different forms of AI. I'm talking about more robots and stuff. So it doesn't sit right with me because it's humans trying to recreate humans. Oh my God, this makes so much sense. So every time, I'm referencing the Bible a lot because this is kind of what my belief system is, and it ties in with a lot of things that how they work in the world. So that's why I'm referencing the Bible a lot, because it really just, I don't know, it just ties in and it's kind of proof. And okay, whenever in the Bible somebody tried to recreate what God made, it never worked out well. That's crazy. I think that's why it doesn't really sit right with me. So God created something and then you try to copy it or make it yourself or make it better than God, like, it's never going to be, you know? And yeah, I guess it's just confusing for me. Like, how can something mimic a human being? And it's like, how does that technology work? Like, it's just crazy. And that's why it cannot be replaced, because we are made intentionally with their characteristics. Like, a human didn't make us. Like, yeah, like someone gave birth to us, but they didn't design us. So no human can design us, and that's what makes us special. So if a human's designs something else, like to try to be a human, it's not going to work out. Okay, next thing is angels. I love angels. I think I definitely have a strong belief in angels. I mean, if you believe in the Bible, then you do believe in angels because it talks about angels. But I kind of think, so angels, I definitely believe in angels, but it's the interesting part to me is how they work. How are angels? Are angels actually hanging out right now, like around us humans? Or is it like, or angels, can they just work through different people? Like, is it like, okay, because I have actually some experiences that I want to talk about, but I'm curious about angels. Is it just, I don't think it's just a thought that angels in your mind, I don't think it's just a thought. How do they work? Are they invisible, or are they angels in human form, or are they just angels that like we'll see later on, like, you know? Or is it like they're only in heaven and they're working just like, I don't know. That's the mystery to me. But another mystery thing, okay, and I also like to believe in angels because if I'm ever scared or anything, I just imagine there's angels surrounding me. When I think that, I think nothing can take me down or has the power to scare me. But so I had an experience. Let me get comfortable. I had an experience one time. So I remember a long time ago, this was years ago. I also did, by the way, hear different things about people experiencing angels. So that's why I'm curious about it. I was with my friend. We were at a coffee shop, and I think I was going through something, or we were both going through something. I think we were both going through something. And I remember a man randomly came up to us, and he kind of like said, I don't even know what he said. I don't remember. But I remember it was like very, like, I needed to hear that. And it was very on point. And then he said that, and then he just like, he randomly appeared, and then he randomly disappeared after that. And it was like, it wasn't a normal, and for some reason, why did my mind automatically think like, oh, was that an angel? Like, why would I think that? I would just be like, oh, because there's people that talk to me and I'm like, oh wow, like I actually was thinking that, or I have that, yes, but this was different. It was like, I think the angel part was because he appeared and just disappeared out of nowhere, and like he said exactly something on point. I don't remember what exactly it was, but I do remember that after that I was like, was that an angel or am I just crazy? So yeah, it was an interesting experience. And then I also heard, I think my mom or somebody told me about an experience that someone else had about an angel, where they're walking and like someone came up to them and like told them something, or did something, and then right after they just disappeared. And angels in the Bible, it talks about angels being messengers, like good messengers to help you out. So what if angels are just like, okay, that's the thing. Are angels, like, if you're an angel, are you just an angel, or is it like an angel, you're an angel for a bit and then you're a human? This sounds really crazy, but do you know what I mean? Like, is it like, can you be an angel to someone else, but really you're just a normal human? Does that make sense? Okay, so I forgot to add, I had another experience that I think was an angel so there was a certain thing, I'm not going to go into the details. Is my camera okay, or do I have to wipe it? So there was a certain thing that I told God, like, okay, I don't want to be specific because like this is personal, but I told God I would never do this. I was like, I don't want this and I will never do this. And then one time I was having a very low point and I was about to do this thing, and how can I explain it? I was about to do this thing, and there was a person there that was like, just didn't let me. And I was like, this is my choice, you know, like, and I didn't know this person, but they were just saying no, like jokingly, but you know, they were saying no. And then I was like, okay, fine. I listened to them and I didn't do it. And then I went back and I was like, oh my God. Like, I swear that was an angel protecting me, because I knew that wasn't good for me and I knew I didn't want that, and I said I wouldn't do it. But in that moment, I was about to do it. And then that random person, and this person, like, if you know the situation, this person, like, it's a stranger. They would never tell somebody no, like they would for that certain thing. And for some reason, they said no, like, and yeah, and so I listened and I was like, okay, I'm fine, like, I'm not. And then, yeah, and later I was like, I swear that was an angel protecting me, you know? So that's why I think maybe angels kind of work through people or send messages through people, or like that person probably has no idea how much that meant to be, that like he wouldn't let me. Not that he actually wouldn't let me, but that he was just saying no. So maybe angels work through people, you know? Yeah. Okay, the next one, body language. Okay, this is so interesting to me because I love to study people and I love to study life, I would say. Body language is so big, like it's such a huge difference. And you know what's interesting about it is it's so real. Whatever you feel inside is gonna translate in your body language, as much as you maybe think it doesn't. For example, if you're nervous, you can see it in your body language. You can see yourself, like, it translates in your body. And the thing is, you can train body language. So you could be nervous, but because you're open, because you're sitting straight, because of certain things, you train your mind to then, because your body language is confident, then your mind becomes more confident. So it's like whatever your mind is feeling, it's going to translate on the outside. But you can also shift that where you can put your body language and then it kind of changes in your mind. So yeah, just observing people's behavior, how they, if someone's sitting and they're talking with each other, like your body language really speaks a lot. And I don't know, it's really interesting for me to learn about and to see how maybe I could use that in my life, or especially if you're in business, like the way your body language is everything. If I'm sitting like this, like it's a whole different vibe than when I'm sitting like this, like completely open, Or if I'm like sitting like this, like look how different I look than if I'm sitting like this. I don't know. I like it. I like to learn about that. Another interesting topic is the fact that you can go way further than you think, or the fact that you can do way more than you think. This actually lately, it really hit me, and I'm like, it makes me be like unstoppable. Like it makes me kind of crazy because I know that what I do, there's more. And so then I keep going and keep going. And I'm like, I don't know. It's just, there's so much in life that it's like, or even the fact that your mind is unlimited almost. So whatever your mind is at, there's actually more to explore. Or whatever you can do physically, even working out, you actually know that you can do more, or you can push yourself, or it's like just knowing the fact that where you're at, there's always a step further. It makes me like, I can't stop. Like I have to keep going because I know I can do something more. I can improve on something. It's like a crazy concept. And obviously, like, you can't go crazy with this. There's certain limits, or there's certain things that, you don't want to be like a crazy person. But yeah, just the fact that you can actually do more than you think you can. It's like, it can be a bit overwhelming sometimes because, yeah, sometimes I get a little overwhelmed because I know that now, but it's cool. It's cool to know that and understand that, because then you realize you're not stuck and you can keep going. But then it kind of can put you in a wheel where you're like, oh my God, like I can't stop because there's just too much I can do or I want to do. So yeah, that's just some interesting topics that I think about. Ooh, I would love to hear what you guys think about. I'm gonna put a link where you can send in things like topics, just random, anything you want, and it's anonymous too, so you can send it in, and I would love to hear what you think about or what's interesting for you, and then maybe I'll do something out of that or make some kind of video out of that. So yeah, if you want to send something in, I would love to hear it. And this is my video for today.